Okay, so now we're recording. Welcome to our Coach Sneak Peek. We're calling this the No Boss Life Sneak Peek. Sorry, Danielle, can you just give Adrienne the link again in our chat there? Thank you. So we're calling this the No Boss Life Sneak Peek, and you might see on some of my posts or the post from the coach that invited you that we call this our No Boss Life. We are our own bosses, so we get to do whatever we want, whenever we want. We get to make our own schedule. We get to work as hard as we want. I think somebody's unmuted, and I can't mute everyone. Oh, there's Adrienne. If you are unmuted, maybe just, I'm not sure where it is on your phone, but just look for the little mute button just because it gives some feedback. So, like I said, we are our own bosses, so we are calling this the No Boss Life Sneak Peek. Oh, I'm freezing. Am I freezing for other people? Or is it just that I stopped talking in between? Okay. We are recording this. So if there's an issue and you don't catch part of it, we're going to put the recording in that group that we're sharing. And if you have any questions ever after this, you can either contact the person that invited you or post it in the group that we're in, or just message one of us that's hosting. So my name is Melissa Zimmerman. My video saying that I'm Barbie Colette, but I'm not. I'm just have stolen her Zoom link. So I am Melissa Zimmerman. I am the founder of Team Soulfire Empire. Most of the coaches that have invited you to this are other coaches on the Soulfire Empire. However, Danielle is a fellow coach of mine on Barbie Colette's team, which is Team Empire. And Sarah, who you're going to hear from later, is a fellow coach of mine on the Fit Republic, which is another person's team under Team Empire. Very confusing. Don't worry, there's not going to be a quiz on that. But we're going to try to run through all the information quickly, answer as many questions as we can for you in a short amount of time, because I know you're busy people and you want to get back to your life. But if you have questions, again, post them in the chat, or just you can unmute yourself at any time and ask, because we love to talk to you guys directly, see your faces and stuff. So our first coach up is Adrienne. She is a coach on Team Soulfire Empire, and she is going to share with you what a coach is. So she'll tell you a little bit more about her story and how she got started in coaching, but just a little background information. She is an extremely busy working mom of one little sweet baby and has just announced that she's pregnant with number 2. She works full time. You were in school before too, right? Yeah, still in school.
Yeah, still in school.
So she's still in school. She's working full time. She's raising a baby. She's cooking another one, and she's coaching, and she's making it work, and she's kicking ass at it. So she's going to share with you guys a little bit about what a coach is. So take it away, girl.
Okay, awesome. Can you hear me good? Yeah, okay, awesome. So a little bit about me is like what you said. I full-time student, which can get kind of overwhelming sometimes. And I work, it's part-time and it's supposed to be casual, but I've taken on part-time at Boston Pizza just to help with all my student loans. And my goal is to just switch it all for coaching. And so far, I'm super impressed. Yeah, and so the biggest reason why I started is just because of postpartum depression and anxiety. And so I wanted something to help me through that wasn't a quick fix, like take this pill and it's going to go away, because that's not realistic, and that has nothing to do, like, you need to change your lifestyle in order for things to work for you permanently. And so I was looking for something that I could incorporate in my life, but not only in my life, but my family's life. And so as a coach, the first thing I think that's most important is we help others. And it's not about pushing product. It's not about selling. We actually help people, which I'm so thankful for, that we are able to meet so many people and give them free resources if they need, and just be a supporting hand for whatever situation they're in, not just fitness and not just nutrition, absolutely everything. So that's definitely one of my favorite things that we do as a coach. The second thing is we are products of the product to actually prove that coaching works and that this isn't a quick fix. This isn't false. We work out. We do our personal development, which is personal growth, which is so crucial. We work on our nutrition. We drink our shakes, and we share. That's the most important part, is we share everything, and that's how other people get inspired. And that's how I feel like that's how people feel comfortable enough to reach out for us, is just because we are open with our lives. If we're not open with our lives, people are going to be it's going to be hard for them to open up to us. Another thing is a lot of people, I find, think that they don't have the time for this. And if you are a super busy person like me, you can break it up. It's an hour in total, but sometimes I'll break it up 15-minute increments. And let's just say if you if you look at the time you spend on your phone, you can definitely do this in 15 minutes 4 times a day. It is so doable. Another thing that us as coaches is we just be ourselves, which is nice. We're not having to conform to be anyone else but ourselves. So we get to be diverse and authentic. And the best thing is there's no one like you. So you are your own unique coach. Some people that start want to lose maybe like 100 pounds, or they just want to tone up, or they just want to improve their mental health. And that's exactly why I started, was to improve my mental health and actually focus on my health and well-being. And I think that one was the most important one, is just focusing on mental health, because especially like I'm a young mom, so it's definitely hard when you feel like you're doing it all by yourself. So it's nice to have that community behind me and to support me with my personal development. That one, definitely the biggest thing that I've learned. And then the fourth one, which I think is really important, is money. We get to determine it. It's not a pyramid scheme, because I can earn more than Melissa if I wanted to. And it's not going to make her fall off in her spot. We are all the top of our CEO spot in our pyramid, if that's really what you want to talk about. And so, yeah, we're not all in this weird pyramid scheme that everyone thinks we are, because you determine where you are, if that makes sense. Those are the main 4 things I would just want to touch on, because I thought they were all so important. Do you think I'm missing anything, Melissa?
No, you did really awesome. So what you guys might not know is that Adrian's a brand new coach, like brand spanking new. And look at how well she did. Look at the confidence. You did great. You're exactly right. So what a coach is just somebody that's working on them, bettering themselves and helping other people better themselves. And we are going to talk more about the income later, because that's my jam. Like, I'm all about helping people, but I didn't want a second job for free. So we're going to talk about that after. But you're right. It's about being proof that the products work, and they do. And most of you, I think, that are on the call, or any of the ones that I know, you already know that. Like, you're already doing the programs. You already know that they work. And then what we do as coaches is just share our story and help other people get started. So it's more about sharing than selling. You did great, Adrian. I'm going to mute you, and I'm going to unmute Danielle. So Danielle and I are success partners. We both belong to the same, like, higher up team. And like Adrian said, there's levels, like any corporation, I guess. You have your president, vice president, and then the employees below. And we belong to the same group, the same organization. And so Danielle and I officially met online, but the very first time that we saw each other in person was in New Orleans this year for our coach summit. So every year there's a big I hate saying the word conference, because it's like so much more fun than a conference. There's parties and pool parties and live music, and it's a lot of fun. But Danielle and I met in person there. So this year was New Orleans, last year was Nashville, next year's Indiana, Indianapolis. Yeah, Indianapolis, Indiana, right? Jesus. So we get to travel lots too. And so Danielle and I have met in person once, but we're very close. And I feel like that's one of the huge selling points of coaching for me, is this community that you build with people that are just like you. And they might be the same gender as you, and they might not be. I got some great coaching friends that, like, obviously there's lots of women on our team, but there's dudes on our team too. B's on our team. We have Gabe too, but B's here tonight. We got dude bosses too. And I really find that on our team and the people that we connect with, it's a lot more about our personalities than even our place in life, or our, like, what we do for a job or don't do for a job, or even what we look like. Some teams don't look alike, but ours are very similar. We all have very similar personalities and senses of humor. Like, we all really like to be dorky and laugh on this team. So that's one of the really great things that I love about coaching. And I'm taking up Danielle's time. So I'm going to turn it over to her. She'll introduce herself to you, because she's a pro, and she's going to talk to you about what a coach does. Adrian talked a little bit about the 1 hour thing, but I think Danielle and her dog are going to touch on this together.
Up my ass, people. I did see another dog on the call. I think Katie had a little doggy with her. Okay, hi guys, I'm Danielle. So just to tell you a little bit about me, I know Melissa already did a little introduction. By the way, I hope you can hear me okay. If at any time, I'm gonna keep an eye on this chat. If my connection gets weird because it was being kind of cranky earlier, just let me know in the chat. And if you have any questions while I'm chit-chatting with you today, again, drop any questions in that chat and I'll take a look at that and answer them as I can. But like Melissa said, I am a fellow coach, and Melissa and I have a lot in common, but we have very different stories, which is what makes it really cool that we really gel, but we come from different backgrounds. So I was an elementary school teacher. I love kids. I absolutely love teaching, but I came to a point in my teaching career where you are just thoroughly exhausted and I became burnt out. And throughout this process of my last year of teaching, I stumbled upon coaching just because I needed a freaking solution, and not necessarily financially, but I needed a solution emotionally and mentally. And so when I stumbled upon this really cool concept of accountability groups and all of these people coming together and sharing their struggles and sharing their victories, it just felt so right. So I jumped in and I knew I needed to be a part of it. And I signed up as a coach having no idea what a coach really does. And so I'm going to be sharing with you guys what a coach does do. So hopefully you don't have, any hesitations, or we can answer any of your questions here if you do have some misconceptions or objections that you may be thinking. Because let me just start by telling you that we've all been there. Like when I first decided to actually coach, I had so many questions. I had so many reasons of why I was like, no, I'm good. Like, I'm just going to get a discount on Shakeology. That's all I really need, but I had so many supportive people like Melissa and like Barbie Kalev who answered all of my questions for me. So I felt confident. So that's what we're here for you guys today, is we want you to feel confident in making this step in this direction. And we're really here to help you figure out if this is a good fit for you. So as a coach, like Adrian said, we really have 3 focuses is what I would say. Okay, as a coach, we take care of ourselves. And Melissa, I can't remember the quote that you came across, but it was something like the most important part of our job as a coach is to take care of yourself, is to make sure that your health, your fitness, your mindset is on point. Because if it's not, then you're not going to be successful as a coach. So let me start by saying, when I first became a coach, my shit was weak, if I can phrase it like that. Like, I was not physically fit. I was not mentally ready to help other people. Like, I felt I could not be a coach because I wasn't where I wanted to be yet. But that is the cool thing about coaching. What we do is we share our journey. People don't care where you end. They want to see you go through this journey of your struggles, of your victories, of your confidence being built. That's what they want to see. Okay. And then they want to see your transformation and be able to know that because you trusted the process, then they can trust the process. So the biggest thing of what we do is we share on social media, and there's tons of different platforms. And if this is something you decide to do, you would obviously have social media training, whether you want to do Instagram or whether you want to do Facebook or both. You would obviously have training and support on what to do, but we share our journey on social media. And so I don't want that to go into your mind and think, oh my God, all I have to do is post on my Facebook page about Shakeology and these workouts and this bullshit and that bullshit, and people are going to think I'm just trying to sell them. That's not what we do. We literally share how this makes us feel, and we share who it has made us become, and then we share the rest of our life. You know, people are going to join you, whether as a coach or as a challenger, because they're going to trust you, they're going to love you, and they're going to know you. They're not just going to buy a product from you without really knowing you, because guess what? They're not buying the product, they're buying you. You're the one who is really going to have them fall in love with this idea and then be able to make their own gains and fall in love with themselves. So that's a really cool thing about this whole process. So after taking care of yourself and sharing that on social media, you are going to attract people to you who either want to feel the way you feel after doing these workouts or eating clean, and they're going to want to join you. So once you have a person who is ready to join you, you're going to help them find the perfect fitness program for them. You're going to help them get set up with nutrition, and don't let that scare you, because Beachbody provides every single resource we need. We don't come up with anything. Like, I'm not a dietitian. I'm not a nutrition specialist. I mean, if you are, that's awesome, but you don't need to be that in order to be a successful coach. You just need to be able to love helping people. And so when you have a challenger come on, you'll help them with their nutrition by sharing what's helped for you, but they're going to get everything in the mail that's going to help them set up for success. So you would bring them into an accountability group, and the accountability group is what changed everything for me. So this is something that, and as your first month of a coach, you would definitely be in your coach's accountability group so that you could see what that looks like before you actually do your own. And then when you're ready, you have your own accountability group where you have those people that are ready to do this with you. You have them in this, it's called a Beachbody tracker. So it's a way that you track it on your phone. It's kind of like, I would compare it to like MyFitnessPal, but you're not tracking necessarily like nutrition on there, but you go on there, you log your workouts, you post any questions to the group, and it's all these people in it together. And it's really cool because you know that you're not alone in the process. Okay. So as a coach, you're not only working on yourself, you're not only helping other people with your health and fitness, but you are also going to sponsor other men and women who want to do this whole coaching thing. You are going to sponsor other people who want to not only work on their health and fitness, but also change their mindset, change their life. You know, they have financial goals. So there's so many different variations of people that you can help. And the cool thing is you are going to attract people to you when you post on social media about what you're doing. So once you attract those people to you, and like Melissa and Adrian has said, there is training on what we do with these people when they're attracted to us and they're ready to go. It's not something where you're going to be like off on your own, but it is something that, I'm going to be totally honest with you, it's scary. It's super scary, especially at first when you reach out to people who have maybe commented on your posts or who have reached out to you. It's super scary to talk to them because we're all afraid of hearing no, and you're going to hear the word no, but the people who say yes are people who are ready to make a change in their life. And you are going to be the person that's able to help them do that. I'm going to scroll. I'm sorry. I say that I look at the chat, but then I get so distracted. So let me see if I'm
it's mostly just the rest of us affirming what you're saying.
Yes.
Yeah. Like exactly what you said. A lot of, and we're going to go into next, like all those what ifs, like, cause when I started coaching or when I started talking about coaching, I was so skeptical about, I don't have enough time. I am not even close. I hadn't even started my fitness journey to be even close to my goal weight. We're going to talk about that kind of stuff. But I love everything that you touched on. And yeah, it's like what a coach does. A coach works on themselves. A coach shares that with the world, and a coach helps other people get started. And in doing that, you're creating your own business surrounding this positive thing of helping people get better while you help yourself get better. Like, I really don't know about, seriously, I've had a lot of jobs in my life. I switched careers a lot, and I've never had another job that's made me feel so good about what I do and has put so much positivity on making myself better. I'm like a totally different person.
Exactly. And just to kind of give you an idea of like where I'm at now, because I told you I used to be a teacher. I mean, when I first started coaching, I was teaching and coaching at the same time. So I would work my business for an hour in the morning before I would go to school for like 10 to 12 hours. And then I started seeing the value of this business. I started to realize that I was a freaking CEO of my own business, and I was attracting people to my business that I wanted to work with, and I was my own boss. And so I didn't necessarily have the no boss life right away. You know, like it was all about making it work for you and wherever you are in your life. And maybe this is not something you ever do full time, but I am blessed to the fact where this is something I chose to do full time, where it gave me the courage to walk away from teaching, which is something that I did love, but it was not serving me. I was not my best self as a teacher. So it allowed me to have the courage to walk away from that. And it's actually really cool because now I'm coaching full time, but I love kids. I love teaching. So today was actually my first day as a nanny. So now I'm nannying just 2 days a week, where I chose to do that because it's a way for me to still be able to spend time with kids, but then to be able to make a huge difference in the lives of others with this business. So this is something you can take wherever you want to take. Just know that you can spread your wings as far as you can. You know, it's up to you how far you want to take this business.
And that's a really good point, Danielle, because I think that's something that a lot of people people that I speak to, they see that I'm doing this full time. They see that I put my whole day into this and I'm really busy all the time, but I guess I don't have do a really great job of communicating that I do that because I choose that. Oh, hi, puppy. I do that because I choose that, right? I'm gonna just mute you for a second. I was working full time as a, and I'm gonna talk about this in a minute, but as a fundraiser, and I chose to leave that job and do coaching full time. But it's given me the freedom to do other things, like take my fitness instructor or do some volunteer stuff. And the point is, you can go full time with this job, or you can go part time, or if you have a job that you love. We have another partner of ours is a NICU nurse. She loves her job. She never wants to quit it, but it gave her the option to go part time and to do it when she wanted and to not get burned out. So we're going to talk a little bit about like the what ifs. You know, I was super skeptical when I started, and most of us are, I think, about like, we always see these too good to be true things. And so we want to know, like, well, what if I'm not at my goal weight? Like, can I actually be successful? Because you see people being really successful, but it's like, well, but those people aren't me. And so our girl Nancy wasn't able to be here because she is at her job tonight. She has gone part-time in her role as a healthcare assistant or healthcare aide, and she pre-recorded her video for us. So I'm going to see if I can get this to work. So share, and I'm going to make this, oh, just a second. I'm going to try to make this bigger. Can you guys see that okay? Yes? Okay, perfect. And I hope you can hear it.
Hey y'all, how you doing? I'm so excited that you guys are here for our Coach Sneak Peek.
Can you hear that okay?
My name is Nancy, and I'm happy to share my story with you. So I am a 40-year-old mom to 2 teenagers. I'm a small-town girl from Newfoundland. I live in a community of 400. I became a coach in May of 2016. Sorry. Before I started coaching, I was in a really dark place, both physically and mentally. I had injured myself at work, and I was just losing myself in this dark hole of depression and anxiety. I was gaining weight. I was angry. I was sad. And my family they were losing me. I knew deep down inside that if I didn't do something soon, that they would lose me forever. So this day in February, I stumbled upon a post on Facebook by Melissa, and she was setting up a free group. I thought, well, I'll check it out, see what it's all about. So I joined her, and I can't really remember now what the group was, but I know that it sparked something inside of me. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed the accountability inside this group. Melissa had said that she was starting up a 21-day challenge later in the month, but I declined. I had previously tried an online fitness program and I totally hated it. I didn't like it at all. I didn't get any results. I found that the coach was she was mean. I needed somebody that was going to help me. I needed somebody that was going to make me feel like that I could do this and that my struggles mattered. So I declined. I joined another one of our free groups. Eventually in April, I kind of saw the light and I knew that it was time for me to set my mind and my goals and that I needed to do something for myself and for my family. So I joined her 21-day challenge. Totally loved it. My results were crazy amazing. I lost 16 inches in 21 days. And I love the accountability. I love the community of people. And Melissa really felt that just within the group, how I had taken part, that I could be a good coach. I thought she was crazy. This chick was never going to be a coach. Number one, small town girl, 400 people. Where was I going to get my clients? Number two, I didn't look like a coach. I had so many goals that I had not reached, and I felt like a coach. I had to look a certain way. And number three, super busy mom. My husband works away. My kids are involved in everything. And I knew that I had to go back to work full time. So where was I going to find the time to coach? Eventually, she wore me down. And this night after work in May, I came home and I said, well, you know what? What the heck? I'll try it. If I fail, I fail. But if I don't try it, I'll never know if I can do it. I've grown so much. Small town girl living in a community of 400. My clients are not from my community. I shared my story on social media. I reached out. I shared my struggles. I shared my results. And my clients came to me. These people that I didn't even know just sent me messages saying that I was inspiring them. I was motivating them. They wanted to know what I was doing because they wanted to do it too. No, I didn't feel like I looked like a coach. I still don't really feel like I look like a coach, but what is a coach supposed to look like? I don't think that you need to look a certain way to be a coach. You just have to support and motivate and inspire. You have to be a real person. I mean, my days are crazy. Yes, I still have struggles. Yes, I still have goals that I want to reach. But I don't need to look a certain way to help others to reach their goals and to start making healthier decisions in their lives. And yes, I'm still super busy. I have, since July, I have went part-time at my job. I work in healthcare. I gave up my full-time position and went part-time because we were financially stable to be able to do that. My coaching, my coaching has helped us to be financially stable enough that I can stay home half-time with our kids. I can be here when they leave for school in the mornings. I can be here when they come home in the evenings. We can have family meals, which we were never able to do before. Coaching has done all that for me. Coaching has built my confidence. It has relit the spark that was lost inside. I'm finally the happy, healthy mom and wife that my family deserved and that they were missing. I'm a totally different person than I was in February of 2016. And coaching has done all that for me. The accountability alone, the community of friends that I've made, and the income is not everything, but the income has helped us so much. We were able to not have to scrape to send our daughter on a trip to Europe in April of this year. I was able to buy a new vehicle in May of this year. And we haven't had to script and save and pinch to be able to do those things. And coaching has done that for us. And it's just, it's doing something that I love to do. I love to help people. I love the messages that I get from people saying, oh, you know, I don't think I can do what you do, but you inspire me every day with your posts. I love to see your motivation each day. And that means so much to me, because the lost person that I was is no longer. And coaching is doing that for me every day. And it's changing my life. And it's changing the lives of others. So don't think that you can't coach because you're from a small community. I'm proof that you can. Don't think that you have to look a certain way to be a coach, because you don't. And don't think that you don't have time, because if you can find 30 minutes a day to work on you, you can be a coach. Anyway, hope you guys all enjoy our sneak peek. Post in the group, and we'll be sure to help you. Have a great evening.
Sorry, guys. I totally thought that sound was on on her video. I muted the sound. Just a second. Okay, so I hope that you guys can hear that okay. Nancy is she's the perfect example of somebody that thought that she could never coach. She wasn't where she was supposed to be. She didn't have the time, and she's one of the top coaches on our team. It's just, I wanted to touch a little bit more on some of the what ifs, the concerns that we hear and the concerns that we have. And please put in the chat if there are some extra concerns that we haven't covered. We will cover them now, or your coach can talk to you after. But some of what I had, my main concern was that I live in a tiny town and the market is saturated. I see a lot of your guys' names on here. You know where I live, and you live in the same town, and it is a small town, not as small as 400 people like Nancy. But the bottom line, I started with a locked down Facebook with only 75 people on it. I did not want to start on my Facebook because of issues within our family, and I was really concerned about building a successful business that way. And my coach just said, you know, you just start with where you're at, and you just build and grow your network with people that you meet online. We are a social marketing business, a social network business. And so you are taught in the new coach training how to use Facebook and Instagram and Snapchat and sometimes Twitter. It's kind of old, but how to use social media, though, to grow your network, to meet more people, and to connect with people like Nancy across the country. I did not know Nancy. She was not, before she joined my free group, she was not in any way connected to me. She lives in Newfoundland. I was not in any way connected to Danielle. She's not coach on my team, but now we're connected, and she lives in the States. There's coaches all over North America now, and we have just opened in the UK. So there's a huge market in the UK. There is not an oversaturation problem, because I think it's 2.6 billion. Is that right, Danielle? 2.6 billion people in the US alone are living overweight lifestyles, unhealthy overweight lifestyles in the US alone. We're not even talking about Canada or the UK or any of the other countries that Beachbody is going to be expanding into. There's not too many coaches. There's only 500,000 working coaches right now. So there's plenty of people to help. There's plenty of people to go around. Another concern that I had was that I hadn't been working out. I had 30 pounds to lose and hadn't worked out for like 4 years almost, or 3 years almost. But I wasn't at my goal weight. But that's not the point. The point is to share your story and to share your journey, and people will connect with you along the way because they can see themselves in you. Think about when you see fitness models or fitness professionals that are like a ripped body. You don't truly believe that you can get those results because you haven't seen their struggle along the way. And that's the point of sharing our story. Plus, it's not that you're not advertising your body or what you look like or your end weight. You're building relationships and connecting with people one-on-one and helping them out wherever they're at in their journey. Maybe your journey and their journey don't look anything alike because you are different people and have different body types and different lifestyles, but you're connecting with people. Your success in this business as the CEO of your business will depend on who you are, not on what you look like. And then the very last one that we always hear and that I have said is, ain't nobody got time. Like, I don't got time. I didn't have time. I have 2 boys. They're in sports. I volunteered. I was working full time. I didn't have time. But the secret is that some of the best coaches are busy people because they know how to get shit done, is the truth of it. You are taught in new coach training how to build your business successfully over time in 1 hour per day. Like Adrienne said, she spreads that out in 15 minutes 4 times a day because she has a baby, and sometimes babies do what they want when they want. I work 1 hour. When I started coaching, I worked 1 hour a day before my kids got up in the morning. And if I had extra time on the weekend, I'd put in another hour. But I built my business very quickly and successfully doing that. I started coaching last January, this January 16th of 2016. By the end of January, I'd earned back my startup costs already, which was like $180. By February, I'd earned $500. In March, I earned $1,500. And I grew my business very quickly by working consistently and dedicated 1 hour a day. Now, I want to tell you, and I'm going to touch on this a couple of times because I want it to sink in, this is not a guaranteed income. It depends on how much you work. But if you're willing to do the training, do the work, and be consistent and dedicated with your time, even if it is just 1 hour a day, you will grow a successful business. And in September of last year, I was able to give my notice. After only 9 months of working in this business, I gave my notice at my full-time job, and I was done December 1st because of timing. But it is doable. And so I'm going to talk a little bit about how we earn. But I know there are people on here that don't know my story, so I'm just going to quickly talk about that. When I started as a coach, let's go back a little bit further. The end of 2015, I was like Nancy. I was in a very, very bad place. I was not healthy. I was not happy. I was suffering from depression and anxiety. I was 30 pounds overweight. I was miserable. I would wake up angry. I would yell at my kids all day. I would yell at my husband. We had it was a really rough time in our marriage. I wasn't sure that we were going to stay married. I wasn't sure that I was going to stay alive. I was in a really bad place. I knew that if I improved my physical health, I knew logically that if I improved my physical health, that I would be able to start improving my mental health and that I could get my shit together, essentially. And at that same time, I was also looking for a way to supplement my income. I was working full-time as a fundraiser for an organization that's very close to my heart, but it just did not really pay a lot. I was tired of budgeting every little penny. I was tired of telling my kids, I know we can't sign you up for this, or no, we can't go on that trip because we just didn't have the money. I wanted my kids to experience lacrosse and rock climbing and camping trips. I want to take my kids to freaking Disneyland. And I didn't want to have to miss out on them growing up by working evenings at a liquor store or cleaning buildings on weekends. Both of the things that I've done. I've worked shift work at the hospital. I've done a day home. I've done all those little things to try and earn that extra money to do those extra things. But they took extra time away from my family. So when I found this opportunity, I found a woman that had posted on Facebook about how she had found this solution to lose some weight, and it turned it into a business. I reached out to her. Something had called to me and said, check this out. And of course I was totally skeptical. Again, like a Facebook ad, too good to be true. This woman had replaced her 6-figure income and blah, blah, blah. And she's from Airdrie. She's from around here. So I was like, well, I'll ask her. And so she shared her story with me, and I decided, why the heck not, right? There's a 30-day money-back guarantee. I could give it a shot for a month, and if I didn't see results, then I could say, tried it, not for me, I guess I'll move on. So obviously, I told you, fast forward to now, I'm almost in the business 2 years. I replaced my full-time income. I am living a life that I'm happy with, and I get to do what I want when I want. I get to go to swimming lessons during the day tomorrow when the kids go to swimming. I took my fitness instructor course and started teaching classes part-time to help people get started in fitness in another way. And if you would have told me 2 years ago, 3 years ago that I would be in a fitness business teaching fitness classes, I would probably laugh, push you down, and ran away. Like, I was not into fitness, not at all into working out. Like, no, do not put me down for cardio. I still don't put me down for cardio. But now I like to help people live healthier lives, and it's totally changed me. So I'm going to tell you how we earn money, because I can talk to you all day about how like rewarding this is and how great it is, and you get to help people. But again, ain't nobody want a second job for free. So there are 3 different ways that we earn income as coaches. The first way is through commission. So maybe some of you have already done like a fitness program, or you've tried Shakeology before, but if you haven't, I think it was Danielle had said, Beachbody creates programs, fitness programs, and nutrition plans, and top of the line, like world-class supplements for us. They've already created that. We're just the messengers to help people they'll tell us their goals and their lifestyle and their budget, and we match them up with the right package and right options for them. And again, that's in the training, so don't worry about that kind of stuff. But for doing that, for helping people get started with these Beachbody products, we earn a 25% commission off of anything that is purchased through our own Beachbody website, which again, set up for you. Like, seriously, this is the easiest business I've ever started. I've had a day home, I've had a photography business. Nothing's been as easy as this business. It's already set up for you. So you're getting results, you're sharing about it on social media. Your friends and family see this and they're like, hey, I want to try that. For helping get them set up with their own program, just like I did for you or your coach did for you, you earn 25% of that. So it's somewhere between $35 and $55 per whatever, like challenge pack, Shakeology bag, whatever. It varies a little bit. Then you also are going to start to build your team, because part of this, on one side, we have this helping people get healthy and improve their fitness level and their nutrition. But then on the other hand, we are also business mentors, and we're building businesses and helping other people build their businesses. Again, I was not a business expert when I started this, but you are trained in this and you learn and you grow along the way, and you're helping other people to have this opportunity to either maybe just earn the cost of their own Shakeology, or to build a 6-figure business, or somewhere anywhere in between. And by doing that, when you're building that team of your own, Beachbody is going to reward you for helping them do well. So there's something called a team volume bonus. I'm not going to get super into detail here, because again, that's in the training. But essentially what it is there's kind of a point system for when you have coaches underneath you on your team and they are helping other people. They're earning points, like they're earning their commission, but they're also getting some points for doing that. Now when your team has a certain amount of points, Beachbody is going to give you a bonus for X number of points every cycle. And so it helps you earn a larger income faster. And that's how people are building these 6-figure businesses. The last way, I wanted to say this part because this is super important. So there's these team volume points, these bonus points. It's really important to know that that's not income taken away from the people below you. My coaches, Adrian, B, they're on my team, and I help them build their own income, but I'm not earning any portion of their income. I'm not rewarded from their income. Beachbody is rewarding me for helping other people, for helping B and Adrian create their own businesses and get started on them. It's because Beachbody uses a binary payment system, which is different from most other companies and network marketing companies in particular. A coach below me, like Adrian said, can out-earn me at any time. It really doesn't matter where you start in the company or where you are in the company. It just matters how hard you work and how many people you help get started and how much effort you put into it. It really does come down to this. It's not a quick rich scheme. So if you're here for the money, I can tell you're not going to make it. If you're here to help people build their businesses and get health results, then you will earn the income. But you can't build that 6-figure business or, like I did, quit your job in 9 months if you have a minimum wage work ethic. is the bottom line, I guess. You do need to be consistent in your business. Like I said, the dream is free, but the hustle is sold separately, right? That's what they always say. So the third and final way that you can earn an income as a coach is through quarterly bonuses. So we got your commission, you got your team volume or your team points bonus, and then there's also quarterly bonuses. So again, once you've started building a larger team and you're helping some of those people become team leaders, and they're starting to build their own teams, then you are rewarded on a quarterly basis, and that can really compound over time. There are coaches that are what's called 15-star, and they're earning something like $60,000 US per quarter. Is that right, Sarah? I can see your face. Yeah. So that's just the bonus amount. So $60,000 in bonuses per quarter, plus their team volume points bonus, plus their commission. So they're Barbie Kalev is our hire coach, and she's the one that I stole her Zoom today, but she's a multi-million-dollar earner every year. So, and she's been coaching for 10 years. But there are coaches that are 5 years or less that they're in the $1 million club. So this is like a legit opportunity. I've seen these people. I know these people. I know their work ethic though. And that is something that I want you to keep in mind. So I'm going to end with this and then introduce our final speaker. When I talked to my husband about starting this journey, I was totally preparing myself to convince him that spending $180 that we didn't have, that I would have to put on our credit card, that was a good idea. And especially because I'd started and failed and started and quit fitness things like time and time and time again, right? Sign up for something, be on the bandwagon for 2 weeks and then quit. Done it a lot of times. So I was trying to convince my husband that this was a good idea to spend this money again on something that I was probably going to fail at and quit. And he said to me, we spent more on less, and there's a money back guarantee if it doesn't work. So what have you got to lose? And that is what I want you to keep in mind. What do you have to lose by giving it a shot? So our last speaker, and again, I'm just telling you it's last because if you have any questions that are lingering in your brain, post them in our chat and or send them as a message to the coach that invited you or in that private group that we're sharing. I would love to keep discussing this, but the rest, we have lives, right? Like we probably have kids that are screaming upstairs, like mine. So our last speaker is Sarah. Sarah and I belong to the same team run by Rosa Friesen, which is the Fit Republic. And then all of us are under Barbie Kalev. I explained that a little bit in the beginning. Sarah and I started about the same time. She started about a month and a half after me. We've kind of been on the same path. We've got very similar life stories, I guess. She was also working. She's going to share a little bit with you guys, but she's working, has kids, and now she's kicking ass in business. So she is going to finish this off. Sarah, I will unmute you.
Awesome. Thank you. All right, guys. Thanks for being here. So I'm first going to give you a little bit about my story. And like Melissa said, I kind of started right after her. And my coach, Rosa, who Melissa and I are with, Rosa's husband and my husband are first cousins. So I actually saw Rosa build this business right from day one, and I wanted nothing to do with it. So for 3.5 years, I watched her and I was like, yeah, no, I don't know what you're doing, but because I'm a very, very skeptical person, and I was just like, nope. That's good for you, but not for me. And then I got to a point in my life 3.5 years in to where she was at, and I was just in such a dark place. I was in school at the time. We had just moved across country to British Columbia from Ontario, knew nobody, and kind of started everything all over. And I was in a really dark place, and I had gained all this weight, and I was like, what am I doing? I felt really trapped in like this mom body, and I'm like, I'm just gonna look like my mom with the jeans up past my belly button, and this is it kind of thing, right? And so I reached out to her and I was like, okay, I need your help. And she's like, all right, awesome. Let's get you started on your health and fitness journey, and let's you get set up with this coach account so that you can save some money every month. And I was like, all right, fine, but I'm totally going to return it after 30 days kind of thing. So, yeah, and I didn't return it. And anyways, I started my journey, and I was really intrigued by actually the coaching business because I had watched her go on these trips and have all these great women that she was friends with. And that actually really attracted me to this business, is the trips and the community. And especially being alone in a province where I didn't know anybody, I was totally attracted to that. I didn't know anything about income. I didn't know you could actually make an income with this. So that wasn't what I was attracted to. I also knew that I needed a lifestyle change, and I knew that I needed to do something with health and fitness for myself, and I just didn't know where to start. So she started me in a program in a challenge group, and I ended up losing 28 pounds, 30 inches, totally transformed my life. But at the same time, I was training to go through this to be a coach. And I was 2 days into the training, I was like, oh my gosh, this is incredible. I didn't realize that you could do all of this. And here I am, I'm working full time. I'm in school full time, just 2 months short of graduating to be a special education assistant teacher. And I just could see the opportunity and how huge it was and how huge it would be for myself and my family. And so initially where I was attracted to the community life that coaching provides, the friends you make and everything like that, and the traveling, now I'm actually attracted to the opportunity where you can do all these things with your family. Like for me, being able to allow my kids to go to birthday parties because I could afford to get their friends a birthday present where I couldn't at the time. I couldn't even afford to start as a coach. I put it on my credit card, but that meant that I could not pay my cable bill until the following month because now I took the money from my cable bill over to my credit card to pay for this. Like that's how bad it was, right? So I got to see everything in a totally different light. And I was like, this is incredible. I could totally do this. And I just had to create this belief in myself. And in order to do that, though, I actually had to do daily personal development. And I know I jumped onto this call a little bit late, so you guys might have already talked about that, touched on personal development, but that was really what transformed my life besides the fitness and that part of it was the personal development, because you're your own biggest enemy, and you just don't realize what you can do until you dive into personal development. And I wanted nothing to do with personal development either. I thought it was weird and only like weird people did that, but actually successful people do it. So I was like, I want to be successful. So I had to create this belief in myself, and I did. And I shared my story every single day, and I talked about my journey. I put it on Facebook and put it out there. I needed to lose weight so bad, and I knew that people looking in probably knew that I needed to lose weight, but admitting that I knew that they knew was really hard. But I did it because I was like, this is going to be my 100% accountability. So I did it. I put it out there, and I got amazing response back. I was totally freaked out about it, but everybody was like, this is really awesome and inspiring. And sure enough, like I got that transformation because I told myself accountable. I put it out there, so I needed to do something. And it worked. And so that transformation was so life-changing, and it still is. I'm still down the weight. Okay, I might have gained a few pounds back, but that happens. But I'm working out every day. I've got a group of women that I'm checking in with who are also working out every day, and I know that I am a vital part of their story now and their life change. And I happened to look up the statistics for Canada because I'm in British Columbia, and 54% of all adult Canadians are obese, like 54%. That is a scary, scary number. And I had to think, how can we change this for the next generation? Because the number is actually only climbing. It's not getting better. So how are we going to do that? So we have to create something and inspire others and help others so that they can now share with their friends and family. Because I'm like, I can't do this on my own. I need other people to help me. I can help my friends and family, but other people have to help their own friends and family because I don't know them. And so I started growing my team. And in doing that, you know, you're your own CEO of your business, which is awesome. I love that part. That I get to make up my hours. I get to decide if I'm going to go all in or if I'm going to do it at a slow pace, part-time, whatever. And I work full-time. So I am a special education assistant teacher. I work Monday through Friday, and I do this job as well. And I've almost replaced my income as a special education assistant teacher. And so my drive, I was like, I'm going to treat this coaching job like a business and give it the respect it deserves. And that's exactly what I have done. And I've created this team and I love it. It's awesome. And at the same time, even though you are your own CEO, you're still part of this big community and you still have help, and you're partnering up with everybody, right? It's really awesome. So Melissa and I, we get to bounce ideas off of each other all the time. We are very similar in our work ethic, which has been awesome. I flew down to Calgary for an event, and Melissa took me around town and got to show me around everywhere. It was awesome. And she's just somebody I met online. Like, I never knew her before that, right? So it's really nice. So you get to run your business the way you want to run, but you also have partnership and you're not doing it on your own. So it's really exciting. So what I want you guys to do, I want you to think about what attracts you to this. Kind of think about like all this, what you've watched tonight, or maybe you've seen on social media, whoever invited you, what has piqued your interest, and kind of go from there. And then at the end of the day, like because I'm such a skeptic, I have to like walk through everything. I've got to talk it all through. And I thought, you know what, at the end of the day, even if I do all this, I've got my transformation and I don't earn a penny, I have totally changed myself. And not only myself, I've changed my family's life because we are eating totally differently. And that's really like what I knew would matter. You know what I mean? Like, I'm getting a transformation out of this, and my family's getting that transformation. So if I don't do anything with it, big deal, right? But that doesn't happen. You don't earn nothing. You can totally make this something big, and that is what I am doing, and that is what you get to do. And so that is something you need to think about. Like, what could happen at the end of the day? What's the worst that can happen? I'm always worst case scenario kind of person, right? And so worst case scenario is that I get healthy. Wow, that's pretty cool. So what I want you guys to also do is to reach out to the person who has invited you to this call, talk to them about it, and get started. Like, I'm so excited that you guys are here and you can be a part of this group with us, and get started on your own journey and start sharing with others. And okay, I'm not looking at the chat. I should probably look because I've seen all this. Yeah, start sharing with others and just start your own journey and start somewhere and then kind of go from there. But I am really excited for you guys because this is a life changer. And all of us on here who are coaches, I've been doing it now for like 19, 20 months, and I can't even imagine being without it. I just came back from a cabin for the weekend in the state of Washington, fully paid for by my business. And we were gone for 3 nights. It was gorgeous. It was awesome. And I get to do stuff like that all the time because I was like, I'm all about the trip. So I get to not only go on trips with Beachbody, which Melissa and I have earned a trip to Mexico that we're going to in April with our spouses. Super excited about that. But I actually get to do these, my family's so loud, sorry. I get to do these weekends away, which is so important to me because I just want to travel. So yeah, okay, I think that's all I got.
Thank you, Sarah. That was a perfect way to finish. And I love how you said that, like, what's your worst case scenario is you get you get healthy and you get your family healthy. And I actually thinking about that would have been the worst case scenario for us, is that I was healthy and my family's healthy, but I've also made a lot of money and gone on some fun trips. We're going to Mexico in April, but we went to Mexico in February together, and we went to New Orleans together, and we went to Nashville together, and like we go on a lot of trips. It's super fun. So I really appreciate you guys all for being here. We are going to post this recording in the group that we're all a part of. We're going to keep answering any questions in there. So we're going to do draws for prizes for all of you guys that were here today. But before we sign off, because, you know, social media, we're going to take a picture. I'm going to take a picture of the screen. So if you have a video, but you're not showing, will you please show just for like one picture, because I love you and I will love you forever. Like, I'm going to call you by name. Oh, there's Ian. I can see Ian and Amy. Shakira. Okay, if you're not, that's okay. Oh, Shauna Lee. Yay, I love all the faces. It's like you guys were actually here and listening. I'm a little worried when you don't see people's faces that they're like then walked away. Oh, darn, Shakira. That's okay. I can see your name though, so I'm gonna just close that part. Okay, I'm going to count it because then you will be ready. But okay, ready? 1, 2, 3, cheese. We'll do one more. 3, 2, 1, cheese. Thanks, guys. Okay, I'm so glad that you guys were here. I will post the recording. Please post in the group if you have any questions at all. Otherwise, the coach that invited you will probably contact you either tonight or tomorrow. But if you're like just super like, yes, let's freaking do this. What have I got to lose? Send your coach a message right now and let's get you started and get you in on the team stuff. This is how we do team calls too, is with this Zoom. And we have a lot of fun. Generally, there's a lot more cursing, but we have fun. We have a good time. Not with Sarah. Sarah doesn't curse. But we have a lot of fun on our teams. We have a lot of fun getting together. And we have a really good time creating this business, doing good things for ourselves, our families, and others. And I don't see how that can be a bad thing, even if you were doing it super ridiculously part-time. So let me know. Let us all know if you have any questions. Otherwise, have a great night, guys. Bye.